Guys, my name is Willem. Welcome to LRDX Cars. Welcome back today to the Porsche Center here in Paal. The last time we were here, we were having a look at the new Porsche Cayenne. It was in January, right before I went to India for 2 months to do a road trip. And today I'm here actually to take a look at the latest new Porsche Panamera. The third generation of Panamera is out now, and in today's video I'll tell you more about it, tell you what's changed in comparison to the last generation, and have just like a proper good look. And at the end of the video I'll also tell you some about the latest new Porsche 911. The 992.2 series is also released this week. So at the end of the video I'll also tell a bit more about it, but mainly will be about the Porsche Panamera today, so enjoy watching the video, guys. And I found myself here on the inside of Porsche Center Paal dealership. Take a look at here right behind me, the new Porsche Panamera. We have here a turbo variant, and also I think just a regular Panamera is here. Yeah, just the standard version. Of course, also the hybrid is available nowadays, like you already had, and this is a Panamera 4, the black one actually. So, like I said, you have the regular Panamera. Panamera 4, that's right here, the hybrid. They already sell now the 4 E-hybrid or the 4S E-hybrid you can go for. And then here's the Turbo E-hybrid, the heaviest version. It's right behind me here, beautiful green color, and we can compare them a bit in today's video, check what's changed, and of course tell you a bit the whole story about Porsche Panamera. I think this is the first total review I do of a Panamera, so I'll take you back a bit in the history and tell you all about it. So I already took a seat here on the inside of the new Panamera, where I'll take you around in a minute, but I want to first tell you a bit about the history of Porsche Panamera. In 2009, the first gen of Porsche Panamera was released, and actually it was sort of the first time a sports car manufacturer went to do and build a sedan version of sort of a sports orientated car. Back in the day, Porsche was the first one to do it on the Panamera. It released in 2009 with a V6 engine. Also a V8 engine for the turbo, like you still have it nowadays. But yeah, afterwards a lot of brands also went into that direction to build more of SUVs, more of sedan, more of family cars that you can daily drive, but still that have a sporty feeling to them, like a sporty drive to them with a nice engine in that still give you a feeling of a good driver's car. That's where the Panamera was first for released as a 4-door car, of course, where you can take your whole family and take your children, go on a vacation, just daily drive with it. I think the Cayenne was already out at that time. Like I told you, the Cayenne was also a very special car actually for Porsche, because back in the day there were only Boxsters, Caymans and 911 sold. Then the Cayenne of course came and the market changed a bit. There was a lot more interest in these sporty, luxurious daily cars. And then of course the Panamera came after a lot of concepts we had seen. 2009 the first gen was released. Then in 2016 they did a refreshment, the second gen of Porsche Panamera, which in my opinion looked a bit better. Of course the 2009 car is a bit outdated if you see it now. Nowadays the cars are very modern with the modern slick lights in the front and in the back. So now 2023, the third generation came out. They just released it last year, and now here in the dealership, I think it's just a couple weeks in, I'm gonna ask it, or just even maybe a couple days that the cars are here in the dealership. I checked yesterday also on YouTube. There aren't that many videos to watch about the new Panamera, so I thought I should definitely be quick and go and make one of this beautiful new Panamera. Actually, I'm sitting here now on the inside, and the first most important thing a lot of you will have already seen that has changed is the very special suspension system they are using now. I'm gonna climb out, and then you can already see it. To get in and out, the car goes like 5.5 centimeters upwards to get the passenger easily out. And of course, when you now close the door, it will automatically drop back down, like that. In just a couple seconds. It's a very special air suspension system they are using nowadays, and it's the most known thing that changed on the Panamera, and of course the exterior. But I'll turn the camera around, then we can focus more on the car, and I'll tell you the full specs and the full new technology that went into it. Of course, on the previous generation of Panamera, you can already or could already choose for an air suspension system, but this time they took it even to the next level. The engineers at Porsche to make like on every individual wheel an individual suspension, like an individual spring, that the control on each wheel can be different depending on, of course, speed bumps, bad road conditions. The car will absorb it all, and it's like I told, the special spring they use on each wheel, and in between they also have on each wheel like a hydraulic pump. That's why you see it. The car gets up and down very quick. It's because of the hydraulic pump that you have also on each wheel. So a very, very comfortable ride you will have in this new Panamera. That's like the main thing that changed. Then of course I'll take you a bit around the exterior and interior, because yeah, it's a total new look of a car here on the turbo model with the V8 in hybrid system. We'll start here at the back of the car. And I'll take you a bit around the exterior. You see here the very thin line over the whole width of the car of the rear lights. Here on the turbo model they have sort of the more wide line of rear lights. You could also have like the standard one, like you see there on the Panamera 4, is just a red light on the back. I think they call it like it's a smoked out sort of rear lights. And then very sporty in between you have here these black, like piano black color to make it a bit sporty. Also you see it on the Porsche badge. It's also fully colored in gloss black. Here the turbo badge in the exterior color. I'll check on the name. I think it's like a oak green metallic something exterior color. And the cool thing still on the turbo is you have here the spoiler that comes up and separates itself into two pieces that go also a bit more outwards. It of course creates some downforce on the back of the car. It is a four-wheel driven car, the turbo. The Panamera 4, the 4 E-hybrid are all four-wheel driven cars, but of course a lot of horsepower, a lot of torque to them. So still some downforce on the rear can always be like useful. I think this car is just using the standard exhaust system you see on now. Of course you can also opt for a sports exhaust system, but it's an extra option. And then you can also change the color of the finishes here on the tips to make it a bit more sporty, like if you prefer more of a black look. I think even sort of a copper look you can go for. So like a new fresh look here on the back. Still reminiscent as the Panamera, especially when you come here to the side. Still see it sort of the sporty line of the 911, but then a bit longer to have like that extra door in between to take some passengers if you want. Then of course you still have here a boot. Maybe quickly open it up. Automatically it goes. You can also see here your coverings for the sunlight if you want. If you don't have like the bright sun in the car the whole day, then still a quite a big boot. It's like a daily car, a usable car. You can here have your charging cable. You can put like 2 big suitcases in easily, I think. Then automatically get it back down. Also have a very good looking Brewster Green GT3 Touring here in the showroom. Maybe take you a bit around after the review of the Panamera was right. It's oak green metallic, the exterior color. If you want to know, it's now not paint to sample color anymore on the Panamera, so I think it will be like a 4,000 to 5,000 euro option. If you want like this special metallic exterior color, I should definitely go for it. Looks very good. Green on a Porsche always is a beautiful color to go for. Then here on the front, you also see a total new look on the front bumper here. In my opinion, especially here on the turbo, looks very sporty. Like the whole underside here of the front bumper is like one big air intake. Like you have the 2 radiators on the side, of course, then one in the center, where you can still see like your radars and your camera, like a surround camera system on the new Panamera, like you already had on the other cars in the past. And then, like you see, it's finished in this piano black, like gloss black look here on the front, to again make it a sporty look like you had on the rear, between the rear lights. And then here you have like your daytime running lights underneath. And here these beautiful matrix, I think it are headlights from Porsche. I think the matrix headlights are an option. I think the LED ones are from standard. Maybe on the turbo, the matrix will be an option for free that you can go for. Then I'll quickly tell you some about the differences. Like here is a Panamera 4. You see here that you don't have like the light in the horizontal way. Now they did it like on a vertical way. They put the daytime running lights. And here you have like the 2 fins in, the other one just like the 1 fin with the daytime running lights above. And then, like you see, I think you can maybe take it as an option, but here you sort of just have like the black plastic sort of look here on the front. If you compare it to like the gloss black on the turbo model, that's right there in the green. And then I think the side profile of the car, the turbo is a bit more sporty that you have here behind or underneath the passenger door. You have sort of this side skirt that comes a bit more outward to have a bit of a more sporty look. Also the finish is in gloss black like you can see. Then of course the center lock wheels for the turbo model from standard, I think. It's a very good look, like beautifully done by Porsche. Total new design. I think this is more of a grey look. From standard you can also take them in gold, in gloss black, matte black, whatever you want. This car is just using the steel brakes, but of course also upgraded in the latest model. But you can of course take the ceramic brakes if you would want. Then go back here to a bit of the comparison. This car isn't having those beautiful wheels, of course. I think 5, 6 different types you can choose between. Then coming here to the back, you can also have sort of a comparison. You see the diffuser here of the turbo is a bit more sporty. You hear those 2 fins in. Also here this extra sort of designing feature to make it a bit more sporty. Of course the turbo model is the most heavy model, the most expensive one, so you want a bit of difference on your Panamera then. This is just without a diffuser, but still looking good. Still 2 exhausts on each side. Beautiful finish by Porsche like always. Then I'm gonna tell you some about the specifications of the car. You see Door is open, so the air suspension is up, but I opened up the hood here in the front to have a look here at this V8 engine by Porsche. It's a very powerful one here in the Turbo E-hybrid model. It's producing 680 horsepower and 930 Newton meters of torque. So a lot of horsepower and a lot of torque to it. Like in comparison, Porsche Carrera GT only has about 640, 650 horsepower. So nowadays your Panamera is like as fast as the top car 20 years ago. And then what makes this horsepower and torque number, the 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, is just 3.3 seconds, guys. That's insane, because here the Turbo E-hybrid has like the hybrid system on board and it weighs about 2,400 kilos. So a car of 2,400 kilos just propels in 3.3 seconds, guys. I think that's as fast as here this beautiful GT3 Touring behind me. Of course, this is a rear-wheel driven model, but yeah, this is a full-on sports car with a flat 6 4-liter engine in. This is like your daily car you can take your kids to school with, and it is as fast. That's insane, guys. The technology nowadays is growing and growing every year to outrageous numbers. Then the top speed, 325, 330 kilometers an hour. You will get out of this turbo model. Those are big numbers, guys. And I think in the future maybe we'll also see a Turbo S E-hybrid coming out. So maybe even the Turbo GT model to end it off with would be great. But yeah, this V8 engine is a very powerful one. And it's still beautifully presented here. You can't see that much here. You can of course change your oil, I think, change your fluid for your wipers, things like that. And then to compare it a bit, if you just have like the standard Panamera, it will only give you 350 horsepower. I say only 350 horsepower is still quite a lot. Here on the Panamera 4, you have the four-wheel system. That's the only big difference, that you have four-wheel drive on the Panamera 4 instead of the rear-wheel drive on the standard Panamera. And then the 4 E-hybrid has a bit more horsepower. The electric engine will provide about 190 horsepower extra. So the number on the 4 E-hybrid is, I think it was about 440 horsepower, something like that. Or am I wrong? Should count like 350 plus 190, that should be a bit too less. Like it will be like 540 horsepower on the 4 E-hybrid. Then you can even go for the 4S E-hybrid, which is even more powerful. And then here the turbo model was 680. I think then 540 would be probably on the 4S E-hybrid, and then 440, something like that, on the 4 E-hybrid. You can look it up if you want to be sure. Like also the torque numbers, like I said, 930, 750 it was for the 4S E-hybrid. And then just for the regular 4 E-hybrid, it was like still 650 Newton meters of torque. So it's still a lot. Then coming a bit to the price point here, if you take this fully spec'd Panamera here right in front, this fully spec'd Panamera comes in at about 250,000 euros. I think the starting point from speccing will be around 200,000 euros. So for the most expensive one, I think the getting in version, the regular Panamera, will be starting at about 115,000, 120,000 euros, something like that. Then count like 20,000 more for the E-hybrid system, 140,000 euros, something like that will be the price point here. So didn't change that much, increased just a little bit, not that big of a change in comparison to the last model. And then I will tell you some also about the times of the other models. Like I told, 3.3 3 seconds for the turbo. I think if you take just the Panamera 4S E-hybrid, it will also be like 4.5 seconds, something like that time. To go for, I think even 4 seconds if I'm right. And then 5 seconds just for the regular Panamera. The regular Panamera also had a top speed of 270 kilometers an hour. Then the 4S or the 4 E-hybrid 280, and then the 4S was 290 to come here to the 320. So yeah, to be honest, regular Panamera is already like, I think more than enough, or the hybrid model for the road. Of course, if you want like this special turbo model, it will be like more of a sports car. Then another thing that's changed, maybe you already have seen it, here the Porsche badge has changed. Now you have sort of this grey-black look, also here with the hexagonal forming. Looks a bit more aggressive, a bit more sporty. I think on the turbo you have it maybe from standard, then you compare it here to the more colored one with the gold and the red in. It's a big change for Porsche to change the emblem here also on the wheel design. You see it on the center caps. The other Porsche badge also on the inside. I'm gonna open the door and step backwards that you guys can also see the car coming up. Like, no need to wait to get in. It's just like in a finger knip, like that fast. So what I wanted to show you is here also the total new badge of Porsche, and then I'll take you also into this beautiful new interior, total new design to have a proper look at. So let's dive in. You can also see it on the key that you see the new Porsche badge. Looks quite good, more smoked out look. Still the same cool looking key. Of course, if you want, you can take it in your exterior color. Always a nice touch to do. Then open, close, and to open the boot. Then I'll take you a bit through the multimedia. Of course, like always, Bose sound system Porsche is offering. Of course, you can also go for a more premium one, the Burmeister, if you want like the best audio possible. Here you see some ambient lighting, nicely done. Also like all the black details, no more silver details on the inside. Here the black door handles. Of course, electric seats that you can save up to 3 positions. Close it off. I'll quickly show you here also the door sill with the cool turbo badge on. Cool detail to have. Still some storage space here on the side. Here are buttons for your windows. And then I'll take you a bit around, put my foot on the brake. Here you have the start button. Just press one time, not start it up. Here on the inside of the showroom. Here are lighting buttons. It's totally automatic, only if you want like light when it's misty outside, you can put it on. Then put the camera a bit backwards. You see here sort of the layout you already had in the Porsche Taycan. Sort of here this virtual cockpit right behind the steering wheel, where you can even see now the navigation, and I'll come a bit closer. You can see it. Cool view of navigation. And then you can see underneath how much kilometers you can still drive, how much are driven. So a brand new car I'm sitting here. Lucky guy that I am to share these new cars with you. And here you see some information about your lighting, how fast you can drive, the speed on top. Here on the side the e-power the car is using and in which driving mode it is. And then you can also see here on the total right little car that says when the car is up or down. It's maybe interesting. Then another thing that's changed in comparison to the other cars is normally you would have your mode engager right here in the center, but now they changed it up like you already had it in the Porsche Carrera GT and the 918 Spider, that you have your mode engager a bit higher up. And on the 918 Spider they also did it right here. Here your parking button, come a bit upwards, reverse, upwards, neutral, central and drive. Backwards, I think also for manual you need to give it a hit, but probably I think if you just hit the pedals it will already put it in the manual mode that you can shift the car by yourself. And the car is using a 8-speed dual clutch gearbox, the known PDK gearbox, of course, by Porsche. The previous gen it was just a 7-speed, now it's an 8-speed, so a bit better for efficiency, of course. Also, because you have now the hybrid models, even on the turbo, the efficiency is like really good. The fuelage is like really good. You can drive about 70 kilometers fully electric if you'd want. And then here you can change it by the steering wheel on the driving modes. You have your e-power, so you can drive about 70 kilometers like I told you. Then you have the hybrid mode that the car will choose by itself when it will be given the extra electric power, probably for start off. It's always handy, because when the engine needs to get in RPMs it takes some time, but the battery is always ready to go. So to start off, that's why the 0 to 100 kilometers an hour time is also that good. Then you have the sport mode. Now I started the car up. That wasn't really the plan to start the car up, but then you can also have listen to it. I'll put it maybe back in the hybrid mode. Yeah, we have it here on the e-power mode. Maybe put the car back off to do it, or I'll quickly go on the outside. Now the car is running. Put it in sport back again, that you can have a listen to the exhaust system. It's not bad. I think it's maybe even the sports exhaust this car is using, but I'll turn it off because we're here on the inside. It's not the plan to start it. Maybe give it a little rev, and then I'm gonna turn it off because I don't want to get it in trouble. Quite a good sound actually, to be honest, from the V8 engine. Then I'll go a bit further. Here you have like your cruise control like usual. Here to pick up your voice control, you can say like "Hey Porsche," and it will listen to you and do whatever questions you have, like drive me to that place, call that friend, things like that. It will automatically do for you, so quite easy. Close the window back off. And then I'm gonna turn the camera again. I told you a bit about the modes of the car. I think by pressing here in the center of the button, you have the exhaust that you can quieten. Maybe I should have tried it, but I'm not gonna start it again because yeah, we're on the inside of the showroom, so it's maybe not the best to give it that much. And here on top you also have the sport chrono like you see. It's from standard on the turbo cars, but I'm gonna turn the camera and take you a bit through the rest of the buttons here. Here you have like your air conditioning buttons, which have a nice touch to them, but I'll turn the camera around that you have a closer look at it. I'm coming here to the center. Here you have a place to charge your phone automatically, 2 ports, 2 USB-C ports, so quite easy. Then here, like I was saying, your air conditioning control, cooled seats, heated seats, like very nice that you have that option to it. It's quite easy, I think, to use. This is changed down with a press here. Press like, give a good firm press. Yeah, nice. Easy to use, like here to change the air conditioning, how hard it's blowing. Like straightforward. Here you have sort of a button, I think. You have to change the volume. Always handy when you have a physical button to change the volume. Here your air conditioning. I think this is your ESC. I think for traction control. Then I'm gonna show you here some. It's of course a new car, it will be for a customer. You see some of the apps, like this is the main menu you have here. Your phone is connected, which radio is playing, and some information about the navigation, but you mostly have it here right behind. That you have yeah, all the information about the navigation for the driver. The cool thing is, yes, this car is also having it, but I couldn't see it because I was sitting here in the passenger position. You also have here a display for the passenger, but I'll show it when I'm sitting on the other side. So press here your navigation, zoom a bit out, Porsche center pal weer here today in Belgium. Maybe you can also do it like this, yeah, easy, zoom in again, quite easy and fast, like no lag on it or anything. Music, of course radio, if you want your own music, Apple Music, of course Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, come, I think from standard on this car, so that's quite easy. Here some about your driving mode. Now we're in the e-power mode, like I told. These are the different modes. Your chassis you can also set if you want like more sporty setting. I think by going into, let's say if you go now into Sport Plus mode, I think the car, yes, automatically puts the suspension in the more sportier settings. Then the suspension to go up and down, you can of course also do it manually. This car has a sports exhaust, so we'll put it on, and then I'm gonna change quickly the view. Yeah, you can see, you could hear it, that the spoiler also can go upwards and be always extended when you're driving. It's a cool look. Then here's some of the assistance. Of course, keeping a lane, keeping distance of the car in front from standard. Some information about your latest drive, if you're interested how fast you were driving, things like that, how much efficiency was. Here's some interior lighting. If you want it, you can even change the color of it. Let's say we'll make it red, and let's see if we can see something. Yes, color is changing. Also underneath here, or in between here, you have beautiful ambient lighting here on the inside. Then here even some sort of matte carbon finishes. It looks quite good. The sportchrono, like I was saying. Let's go back here. Some interesting other things, ambient lighting. The ventilation about the seats, and I think that was about it. Drive comfort, so yeah, straightforward, easy to use, not that much, not too hard to work with, so perfect I think. And you still have some buttons here, and of course your pedals that you will be using. Beautiful sporty steering wheel by Porsche, and nice stitching everywhere. This is a full leather interior, like you can see, black leather, with sport seats. Here you have the turbo badge on. Looks quite good. They have sort of a good support here on the side to keep you in place. Then here on the center console you have even the Porsche badge embroidered. Looks very good. And here's some This car has the 2+1 option that you can sit in with 3 persons on the back. I think from standard it's just for 2 persons to sit, and then you have a sort of place to rest your arm in the center. Then I was making some shots for all of you. And here you have also an interesting designing feature right behind the front wheels, an air outlet to cool the brakes of course, and cool the front wheel arches. Then another option this car has is the panoramic roof, full glass roof, so a lot of light on the inside. It can also open up. Then I'm gonna go to the passenger side to also show you the passenger display that you have on this car. Then you can see for the passenger you also have a full display to watch some YouTube, to go watch all RDX cars, to go watch all my car reviews or my travels around the world, to India, to San Francisco, to Portugal last summer, to Paris. I took you a lot of videos to watch and a lot of nice car reviews. Recently also reviewed the Aston Martin Velour and Victor, the Alfa Romeo 8C. A lot of interesting cars, always sporty cars and luxury cars. Here you see even sport chrono you can put on if you take your turbo to the track. It's quite interesting, an overview for navigation. So now the passenger can't complain anymore if the driver drives in the wrong direction. So yeah, now you also gotta keep an eye on where to drive. If you want to watch or listen to some music, and there's even a G-force meter and a compass if you really taking it to the next level. I think to be honest, first I was thinking too much screens here, like all those screens, but actually for the passenger it's quite fun to also have some information and to interact with. Then every passenger has like his own screen, because I know a lot of drivers don't like it when somebody else is constantly with their fingers on the navigation or things like that. And then you can have it all here by yourself. Of course, the safety feature is that the driver can't look that way, so the screen will be total dark for him. Yeah, nice extra. And I took a place here in the back seats, because yeah, it's a Panamera, so it's for your family. It's not a Porsche you can, or you will be only driving in by yourself, so this is quite important. I'm 180 centimeters tall, so still 10 centimeters left, so quite a comfortable place. And here also for my knees, the seat is still in the same position as I was sitting in, still something left. So only I think for a third person it would be hard, but it's more for children. You have here this armrest, I think, if I can open it up, yes, like this. And then you have some cup holders here, 2 cup holders to put your arm. Then another thing I want to say is that the quality of Porsche is always been good, but now here on this new Panamera they done it again. The finish on the buttons feels great, all the details, how everything is designed, like you have a full Alcantara headliner, the seats sit very comfortable, you have no weird sounds when you open the door or when you touch something, like good design to it, a good quality to it, and that's where Porsche is of course known for. And they didn't let us down here on the new Panamera, they did it again. Very nice car. If I had the money I would of course be interested in it myself, because it's like a daily car, a sports car, all in one for a self-employed. The hybrid cars are very interesting still. So yeah, very pleased with this new look of Panamera. I like it, the look. Especially the turbo model in green is really something, something to behold, really, and something to see on the street, something you go and watch, like, that's a nice car. And they did it again. Like a good view all around the car, like here's some air conditioning and the door still created special design, like even on the back, I don't know if I said it, you have here your air conditioning, you can control by yourself your seat heating. It's quite easy to use. So let's go back out, then I'll give you my conclusion and tell you also a bit more about the new 911 that's out. And for now I hope you already enjoyed here some about the new Panamera Turbo. Maybe I'll quickly show you some in the inside of the other Panameras, but I don't think on the inside it's that much of a change. Mostly on the outside look and of course the engine, the specs of the car. One thing I want to say is it's good, the hybrid cars, it's good for self-employed, but it weighs 300 kilos extra. So yeah, the regular Panamera weighs just 2 tons, 2000 kilos. The Panamera 4 E-hybrid and the 4S E-hybrid was 2300 kilos. This turbo even 2400 because of the big V8 engine. Yeah, it's a lot of extra weight. Of course you will get like your extra 190 horsepower from it. But yeah, I don't know, 350 horsepower is already like a lot in 2-ton car, 5 seconds 0 to 100, 270 kilometers an hour. So even the regular Panamera is, I think, in my opinion, a very good car. Of course, if you're self-employed, the e-hybrid will maybe be a bit better for your finances. And if it doesn't matter anymore, the turbo will be everything you'd want. But that's the thing I wanted to say, like the heavyweight because of the batteries. Yeah, it's of course because of the emissions and the fuel consumption that needs to be better nowadays. But yeah, this thing I wanted to share with all of you. The air suspension works very good, very quick, so that's a nice extra you have on this car. Comes from standard, so good to know. And here this fully black Panamera 4 is also looking quite good. You can see here a new design of wheels they're offering now, especially in the matte black, looks really sporty. Then you can have a look at how to spec your car. Nice full black one, nice grey one. I think a lot of people will go for these sort of colors and different wheels you can choose. Maybe open it up and quickly have a look here also on the inside of the Panamera 4, but a bit less sporty seats I think, but still look quite good. Full leather interior, still the same layout. The passenger display is an option, that you know that, and sort of different finish, no more matte carbon finish around, but still almost the same setup. Looks quite good in here, nicely done by Porsche. I'm gonna quickly show you here this new 911 GT3 Touring in the Brewster green. Very good looking color. Racing seats in, PDK gearbox. Like a very nice one. And I also promised you to tell something about the new 911 that's just released this week, just 2 days ago. Of course, a total new design for the 992.2 series of 911. You had like the newer headlights on the front. A very cool detail were like the aerodynamic parts that opened up in the front grille. You had it like they could close down or open up depending on how much cooling the engine is needing. So yeah, that was quite a cool detail to have like active aero on your 911. Then also on the back you had like the newer rear lights were quite good looking. And then the most big of a change, I think in my opinion a lot of people were already waiting for, was that you now have like a hybrid system on the 911 GTS. So you have like an extra 100, I think it was 150 horsepower extra to complement with the flat 6 engine. So you still have like the flat 6 with 400 horsepower, 450 I think even. Then I'm back outside, guys. I first of all want to thank you all for watching this review. I asked if I can do here a test drive with the new Panamera, but we'll have to see if they can make it work for me. You can of course help me out to leave a like and subscribe of course on the channel. If you haven't seen the Porsche Cayenne, the new one, I also did a review here in the beginning of the year. Then next month, I think the end of July, beginning of July, the new 911 will also be here on the inside of the showroom. So that's of course the Porsche I will come back for to review. And then after the summer the full electric Macan also. So a lot more fun Porsche videos to come. So please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Thank you all for supporting me on this automotive content creator journey, I would call it. I love to share cars. It's what I do. It's my biggest passion since I was a kid, especially Porsches, Ferraris, really close to my heart. So I hope you all enjoy the reviews. I try to do the best as possible, and yeah, help me grow this channel, help me having a lot of fun around supercars, and I'll share a lot of videos for all of you to watch. So thanks for all, guys, and I see you in the next video. Bye.